Keselowski's Ford, Kurt Busch in a Chevrolet, Trevor Bayne in a Ford, McMurray's Chevy, Ryan Blaney's Ford, 3 Fords, 4 Fords lined up on the inside with Gilliland. Then Kyle Busch, Clint Boyer. We're pushing before the green flag even waves. Restart, green flag.
That's pretty interesting. Keselowski's the leader. He took the outside this time.
I think he likes his options out there. He can block, he can get to the inside.
I would have wanted that 6 push me, because that 6 is pretty smart. There's contact.
Unfortunately, that push from the 1 car didn't work.
I didn't like that strategy.
Kurt Busch is in a great position now. He's seen everybody else out there, like the 2, the 6, be able to block that lead from the front. Now he's in that position.
Oh boy.
2.5 to go. Don't touch that dial.
Boy, the 18's giving a big push to the 1.
He is. Trying to look for somewhere to go. Looking for an opening. Might have to make a hole.
Kurt Busch 0 for 60 on restrictor plate tracks.
How about that Gillen back there pushing that 18 car?
What impressed me right there was the 2 able to get a run and get to the outside of Kurt Busch. Shows you the strength of that 2 car.
He's strong. I know that.
Kyle Busch stepping out.
2 to go.
Uh-oh.
I just don't think he has enough help. Here comes McMurray back up the middle, and look at who's right there behind him. Chase Elliott.
Watch that 2 car come off the corner. Man, that thing accelerates. Watch it.
If it comes down to 2 cars side by side, I like the car on the outside. The inside car is held by the yellow line. The outside car can do the side draft getaway.
That was a great block by the 2. Keselowski didn't know that big run was coming from the 18.
And here comes Harvick way down on the bottom trying to come into play.
That 18 just gave the 2 the shot he needed. Got him in the lead.
Now, can somebody get formed up here as we are coming to the white flag to get a run? I'm going to imagine the 18's going to back up.
Don't forget that 35 car. David Gillen running
third. The 3 car.
The white flag waves. 1 lap to go. Sponsored by Credit One Bank.
Holy smoly.
Bayne to the bottom trying to get something going. No help.
Kurt Busch just had a big moment. Lost a lot of momentum.
He's going up high.
Chase Elliott to the middle.
He's going to get a run here. Here comes a 3 car going to try to give the 18
Chase Elliott breaks out of the pack up to 4th place.
Yeah, but he didn't get clear. He needed to get up in front of that 1 car. I just don't think anybody's going to be able to get enough momentum to get a big enough push to get by this 2. This is the best thing going to happen to him, is them getting side by side behind him.
Just remember where the start-finish line is.
That's right. It's not in the middle of the tri-oval. Keselowski.
Big run coming from the 18. Oh, the 3 stepped out.
Dillon. Kyle Busch and Dillon side trouble. Car hard in the wall. 2 of them. Keselowski to the line. Caution has waved, with Keselowski the leader, and crashing are Harvick, Allmendinger, Stenhouse, Truex, Labonte, and everybody else.
Good job today, Brad. That was you, man. Managing that.
I don't know how to explain this. I've never seen anything like this ever.
Bumper cars.
I've never seen
200 miles per hour.
I don't know how to explain it.
Similar to yesterday, caution flies in the last 1,000 feet of the race. The field is frozen at the moment of caution, but Brad Keselowski clearly was out ahead of the pack.
Yeah,
and will be the winner.
Any way you cut it, the 2 was the leader.
Upper left is the caution light. This is synced up with the video to establish the moment of caution into the tri-oval. Contact between Truex and Allmendinger, and then Cole Witt turns Kevin Harvick up and into the wall, and Stenhouse and Allmendinger. Witt slides along and crashes with Truex. Caution is out. Race is effectively over. Exit of pit road. 400 feet maybe from the start finish line, and there's your finish. Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Austin Dillon 3rd, Chase Elliott 4th, Jamie McMurray 5th.
Wow.
Well,
all drivers involved in the crash have exited their cars, and they are okay. Brad Keselowski taking home the checkered flag is today's Sunoco fueling victory.
Not too often you see a burnout with debris thrown all around.
Looks like a
That's not from your car.
Looks like a demolition derby.
It really does.
Looks like one of the short track demolition derbies. But that was the guy to beat. I mean, when he got out front, no one could do anything with him.
Yeah, you got to give him a lot of credit, him and his spotter, for doing such a great job getting a run and getting by that 41 to get out front, and then blocking Kyle Busch there at the end.
A wild finish at the world's fastest junkyard. Brad Keselowski, Roger Penske, and Ford win it. Have a look at the 38, bottom of your screen, the black car behind the 4 of Kevin Harvick. He and Cole Witt go for the same hole. Witt turns into the 4 of Kevin Harvick. That gets Stenhouse. The 47 of A.J. Allmendinger piles in. And with his 19th victory, Brad Keselowski is the man in victory lane. Jamie Little.
It is a beer bath in victory lane. A day that was carnage for so many led to victory for one man, Brad Keselowski. And I think, Brad, you're the only one with a car in perfect condition at this point. Describe today's race from your seat.
Well, I didn't have a great frame to see what happened to everyone else. The guys at Team Penske gave me a great Miller Lite Ford, and this Fusion was hauling. And that's one of the tickets to staying out of the wrecks at Talladega, is if you can stay up front. You got a great shot of not getting wrecked. But this number 2, man, you know, Daytona didn't go the way we wanted to go, Jamie. We thought we were going to be better than that, and we just didn't show the speed in the 500. And the guys went to work, and they brought me a really strong car here for Talladega. So I'm so proud of everybody at Team Penske, and be back in victory lane, 2 wins this year, and we feel like we can get a lot more. We're growing as a team, had a lot of changes at Team Penske, and this feels really good, really good.
Brad, all day long, everybody was restarting on the inside. That final restart, you decided to start on the outside. What did you see there that you knew would work for you?
I didn't. You know, the last 3 or 4 restarts before that, the high lane had went. And, you know, as a leader, it's really a lot out of your control. You need the cars behind you to push. And a couple of them they did, a couple of them they didn't. You know, it's just part of racing. There's nobody at fault with that. And we kind of lost the lead, actually. And we got a better run. Jay McMurray behind me gave me a great push. And then Kyle Busch gave me a push that was big to clear the 41. And without those 2, I couldn't make it to the front. So thank you to them. But it's Talladega, and this is my 4th win here. I never thought I'd ever win at Talladega 4 times, and I'm super pumped. This is awesome.
It was all about you and your spotter, and all about energy. That was the key word for Brad Keselowski, who wins his 2nd race of this season, Vince.
Typical Talladega finish. Kyle Busch 2nd. I know it's not the spot you wanted, but how do you describe what was going on there at the end to try to get to where you wanted?
There's some moves that you made that were just lucky, and you know, just trying to get through some of the holes that were there and that were forming, and guys bumping and banging each other, pushing all around and everything, and trying to get the most out of what we had with our Skittles Camry. You know, 2nd's not bad. I think the quota of 3 cars almost on their lids today is a little high, but it's racing.
Thanks, Kyle.
After 10 races, Brad Keselowski joins a few other drivers with 2 victories. So we've had just 6 different winners as you look at the race to get to the chase. The final 10 races of the season, 16 advance, and you win, you get in. With Kyle, Carl, Jimmy, Brad Keselowski, there's Harvick and Hamlin, each with a win. Meanwhile, the pole sitter, the rookie 20-year-old Chase Elliott, led the first 13 laps, somehow survived. He's standing by with Matt Yoakum.
What an impressive day for Chase Elliott from the pole, finishing 4th. How did you need to have that final lap develop differently so you can make a better move?
That's a good question. I don't know, man. I thought we were pretty lucky to get where we got to. I didn't do a very good job those prior 2 restarts. Never really got in a really good spot, but guys brought a really fast Napa Chevy, and had a great qualifying effort. Obviously, really proud of that. But you know, we tried there at the end, just didn't have enough momentum to get those guys.
You wanted to learn off of Daytona. What stood out to you most today about your education with stricter plate racing with the Cup car?
Just trying to finish. I mean, you can't have a good day unless you finish. So I think it was just trying to focus in on that a little bit. Obviously, it got really wild, and for us, we tried to keep that in mind and just try to make it at the end.
Thanks, Chase.
Thanks.
Yeah, and Kevin Harvick ran right near the front for most of this race, but it just got crazy out there those last 50 laps. What'd you see?
Landon Castle tried to cause a wreck for last 40 laps, and he finally got one there at the end. It was just unfortunate for our Busch Trophy can Chevrolet that we didn't get to finish. We got shuffled out there. and pretty big wreck there at the end. But all in all, you know, it was an okay day. We led some laps, ran up front, and just got shuffled out in the 20. And I don't remember who else, you know, got tangled up, and then we got back there and got racing where we didn't need to be racing and got crashed. But I guess it still finished, so it's just tore up.
Thanks, Kevin. Chris?
All right, thank you. And Brad Keselowski, who was first on the restart, won by 1/10 of a second. The lowest he was 27th, polishing up his Ford as he puts Ford in victory lane for the second time this year. We'll have more live from Alabama in a moment. One of the hardest hitting races we've seen all season, where the track hit back. It was a thrill ride that Brad Keselowski survived for his second win of the season. By the way, A.J. Allmendinger released from the care center. You saw him shake it up moments ago. We counted, of the 40 cars in this race, 33 of them involved in a crash of some kind. These are the winners through 10 races. You see the double winners that we talked about. Austin Dillon in the 3 car wound up third, and Vince is standing by with him.
Austin Dillon finishes third. You had a look at it there at the finish. What was the difference ultimately?
Oh, man, I don't know. Probably the 15 pit stops that we went through. I'm so proud of our Dow and Telefresh guys. They worked their butts off. We had 15 pit stops today, and you know what we've been really focused on going forward is trying not to panic. And no one panicked. They did their jobs. They fixed the car. And, man, what a run to the finish. Our car probably wasn't good enough to really win the race, but it was good enough for the one to hook to my back bumper and push me all the way through 3 and 4. So I had that run off of 4, tried to use it. But those clean cars are just too good for us there at the end. But I want to thank Chevrolet, American Ethanol, Dow. It's been so much fun this year. And to come home with a finish like this and so much work today put into this car. And it was wrecked, and we finished third. So I'm just proud of these guys.
Unbelievable amount of damage, but Austin Dillon somehow brings it home third.
Exciting finish for many, including Jamie McMurray in the 1 car. Did you need to have Larson, your teammate, up helping to make a better push to the front?
Well, I mean, you don't really know what you need when you get to the end of these. It's kind of every man for himself. And the 18 gave me some really good pushes. It was just I kept getting stalled out, and I would have done the same thing. But all in all, a really good day for our McDonald's Chevy. We had some adversity and got torn up along with the 3 car, and it's crazy at this type of racing how you're not as dependent on the aero side of it. But really good day. Our team did a really good job fighting back and fixing that, so pretty happy.
You look at your racing resume, you've got some plate wins on there. You had a funny conversation with rookie Ryan Blaney just about the ups and downs of plate racing.
Well, we were leaning against the cars, and I told him, he said I kind of got lucky there, you know, we're talking about it, and I said, let me tell you something. He said, I've never been on the bad end of getting caught up in the wreck. And I said, well, you just wait, because I said it goes in spurts, and you get to have about 2 years of racing where you can't finish one of these. So take it today and be happy with it. That's cool.
Good place finish for Jamie McMurray.
All right, thank you very much, Matt. Wow, we had 8 different wrecks involving 33 of the 40 cars in this race, the most lead changes and the most leaders that we have had in any race so far this season. Jeff Gordon, I know you're happy to be up there. It was still scary watching, wasn't it? We're just glad it's over.
Well, a couple of other bright spots. Ty Dillon brought Tony Stewart's car home in 7th, Clint Boyer 8th. Good run for them. Landon Castle ended up at the top of the dozen. So did Michael Waltrip. So many contenders and so much carnage.
Well, there's a reason why this is one of the fan favorites. You know, the racing is wild and crazy and 3 wide, but the wrecks are big and wild and crazy as well. Thank goodness for safety, though, that NASCAR's implemented, because everyone has walked away from these horrific-looking crashes. Now, on the driver's side, not their favorite type of racing to be in, but boy, is it entertaining. I mean, we're up here trying to catch our breath, but I got to give a lot of credit to Brad Keselowski. I thought he did an excellent job, not only how he maintained the lead, but getting the lead back when he lost it from Kurt Busch there towards the end.
And Darrell, the way this race played out validated Tony Stewart's decision before we even came here. I'm going to start the race, and then I'm going to get out of the car, let my back heal. Everybody else have at it.
It's almost like he had a crystal ball, because we set a record today. 4 big ones, not just one big one. I think we had 4 big ones, and Tony must have known something, because he could easily have been in one of those wrecks, and that might have been he might have had to stay out of the car longer. So
and they put
congratulations.
They put the right driver in there. Ty Dillon, excellent job. That's going to help them get in the top 30 in points.
It sure did.
That's right. Quite a day, Chris.
And we're not done yet, gentlemen. Moments ago, Joey Logano, you know the history with him and Matt Kenseth. Kenseth, again, wrecking and saying Joey bumped him out of the line. This is him saying and warning Logano after the race moments ago. you can interpret what he's saying when the finger is pointed in the direction of Joey Logano. And this was earlier with 15 to go. Kenseth was bumped out of line. Then when he got back in, he was involved in the wreck with Danica Patrick, blaming Joey Logano for that. Remember, last year he had the suspension, exacting a little revenge on him. And Chris Neville is standing by right now with Joey Logano.
Well, Joey Logano right at the front for most of today, but Joey, 2 hard hits, 2 days in a row. Good to see you're okay. But I did see Matt Kenseth say a couple things to you as he was leaving. What'd Matt say?
Nah, not much. Just, you know, it's unfortunate. We had a pretty decent car. I wouldn't say it's the fastest car out there. It took us all day to get towards the front, but we positioned ourselves well at the end there. I guess it was around 20 to go up there in the front row and actually up there in the lead. So I was proud of what our Shell Pennzoil team did. We worked hard all day, just unfortunately didn't end up as well as we'd like to. 2 days in a row, a couple big hits. So can't wait to get out of this place.
Thanks, Joey.
Now, I remember going to Kansas next week, where Joey Logano and Matt Kenseth have a history. And this was the last lap when Brad Keselowski won. We counted 8 cars involved in this crash. And again, from all the reports from those in the care center, the drivers are okay. Danica Patrick, who was shaken up, was 4th at one point in this race, but Chris Neville caught up with her.
And Danica Patrick released from the infield care center. Danica, that was a really hard hit with the infield or inside wall. You okay?
I mean, I'm okay. I got an X-ray, so that was a concern. But just, you know, taking a deep breath and hit my foot pretty hard, hit my arm pretty hard. I've hit the inside wall of a super speedway, I think maybe like 4 times now, and that one was the worst. So, you know, these races are just, I get running close and I get pushing, but like the 95 was drilling me, like turning it sideways every time. I mean, it's just, there's a high likelihood that he could take himself out doing it. So I'm all about bumping and pushing and being close, but I think that when you hit people with a certain amount of momentum, it's a problem. So, you know, I can't quite remember exactly what started it, but I know I got drilled from behind and turned sideways, and hello, wall.
Good to see you're okay. Thanks, Danica.
And she was referring to Michael McDowell in the 95. Speaking of hello wall, A.J. Allmendinger, as we mentioned in the end here in the 47 car, released from the care center and said to be okay as you can be. And here he looks like he's in a lot of pain, but after the grueling 500-mile race, run at a frantic pace, it was a survival of the fittest, and the fastest was Brad Keselowski. We'll have more on Fox in a moment. Back here live, and the unofficial results from the Geico 500, and it was a good time to have insurance. Brad Keselowski, his 4th career win here, the most of any track for him. Remember, his first career victory came here. Kurt Busch now 0 for 61 in his career in restrictor plate races. Michael Waltrip, nice save on a spin early, wound up 12th, running in this his 60th Talladega race. Jimmy Johnson wound up 22nd, followed by Matt Kenseth and Danica Patrick and Joey Logano. And rounding out, Chris Buescher barreling through the air, one of many cars involved in crashes, wound up 37th. Dale Earnhardt Jr. did not finish. Same issue at the Daytona 500 for the driver of the 88. Tonight on Fox, Bob's Burgers, The Simpsons, and America Country Countdown, the award show, 2-hour special for that award show. On FS1, we hope you join us for Victory Lane. That's midnight Eastern, 9 Pacific. You'll hear more from Brad Keselowski. He'll join us from that Victory Lane to celebrate. And next week, FS1 under the lights. In fact, 3 of the next 4 races are under the lights. Jimmy Johnson won the race last year, but Joey Logano won 2 of the last Kansas races. And, of course, had that notorious incident with Matt Kenseth. And we want to say thanks to Jack Simmons for all his work over the year. We're going to miss you. You've been here from day one on Fox Sports, and we appreciate that. I'm Chris Myers. Thanks for watching NASCAR on Fox.